Welcome back to Digi Bros,
What's
everybody.
up, bitches?
You guys came out in full force for us, guys. We asked for questions, and we got a shit ton of questions, and it saved everybody because we would probably have had to not do a show for a little while because we had no ideas. So the first question that we have, I've written them all down on pen and paper in my notebook, along with the people who wrote them. So the first question is from Tabber Hatter. Who are you, and what's your opinion on life? Starting with an easy one. Well, my name is Jamie Moline, and I'm chasing the green. I'm taking it.
My name is Michael Render, and we are the new Avengers.
Yeah. So anyway, from Ben Weech, does Vic like any books?
Nope.
I actually kind of answered that for them in the comments, because the way they phrased the question was like, Digi, we know you don't really like books and reading, but what about Victor? And I was like, you think I don't like books and reading?
No, I mean, there was a book I read. I read that Night Angel trilogy a long time ago.
Yeah, that was like high school.
Those were books. That was a series of books.
I only ever read the first one, now that I think about it.
I read The Secret.
God, how long ago was that?
I was in high school, too.
You actually read all of The Secret?
Yeah, I read The Secret. Dude, it's an easy fucking book.
I know, but like
that is a basic book.
When Dad was into The Secret, he would explain it so frequently that there was no need.
I mean, I was curious of what it was like, so I wanted to read it. And I was depressed as shit, so...
Right. Alright. From Hello, It's Antonio.
Oh, yeah, I gotta move things.
This was sort of in response to our whole discussion of the party game that is... what's it called? Cards Against Humanity. He said, what do you think is the ideal party game?
Nothing. Because I don't like games.
Really? You don't like any party games?
Not really. Like, they always end up going on too long, and I just get bored.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta think about that. Oh, the game, it's on my phone. Where it's where you put it in front of your forehead.
Charades, right? It's like a
it's kind of it's kind of like charades, but it's like you have it's an app, and you hold the phone over your head, and it gives like a word over your head, and then like the people have to act out the word, and you have to guess what it is. Right. And, like, I love that game. That's a great icebreaker game.
Yeah, I forgot about that game. And
see, the thing with those things is that they're icebreaker games. And it's like, it's great when you're at a party and you don't know who anyone is, but you don't want that to be the entire party. Like, that's just the icebreaker, so you get to know people.
Well,
like,
I mean, it's
fun. So you open yourself up.
We had fun playing those games with our friends. Like, we played it with Marcus and Hope.
But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, that one's fun. Yeah. But then that's another one where it's like, if we played it again, now we already know all the answers, so we'd have to keep buying the new packs and shit, and like keep expanding on it, because those games aren't fun. I think they're
fun at least a few times over time. Yeah. Like, I don't remember any of the shit that was in that game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you waited a year, like, I'm sure if I waited a year without playing Cards Against Humanity, it would be funny again, because I wouldn't remember it. But it seems like I play it at least once a month, you know?
Honestly, I don't even think that's true for me with Cards Against Humanity, because it gets to a point where certain cards are memorable, like Smegma, where I'm never gonna forget that Smegma's in the game.
Exactly.
You know, like, that will never happen, because I've played it enough times and, remembered it enough. Have you ever heard of a game called
and that game's fast too. I like the fast pace of guessing.
I definitely think charades is one of my favorite party games personally. I think the idea of having to
oh shit,
test your ability to non-verbally communicate with each other, you know. Are you getting a charger by chance? Because it looks
all this cutscene's going on. You know, just a precaution.
Peter has gotten up and found a charger on the floor and is currently plugging in the controller.
I've been playing a lot of Splatoon, so I knew this was gonna happen, and I was prepared.
This controller does not have the longest battery life. You should probably string it under the whatever.
It's fine. It's good. It's good.
There's a game I wouldn't really call it a party game, but it's a 2-player game called Keep Talking and No One Explodes. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's a bomb defusal game, and the way it's played is that you have 2 different people on 2 different monitors.
Shit.
And one person has an instruction booklet, and the other is looking at a bomb.
Yeah.
And the person with the bomb has to describe what they're looking at, and the other person has to look through the instructions and figure out what it corresponds to. And so it kind of relies on you being able to capably describe things to another person.
Yeah.
You know. And they played it on Let's Drown Out. And it became apparent to me that, like, while there was some difficulty with, you know, not being able to read the rules fast enough or figure things out fast enough, like, that game is less exciting with people who are great at English because, like, we kind of train, like, people like me who write all the time, we train ourselves to be able to describe things very easily, you know?
Yes.
It's like Yahtzee would look at a bunch of, like, weird symbols and he'd easily be able to, like, come up with it looks like a 3 and a 4 had a baby, you know? And then, like, that just becomes, now for the two of them, they will always know what that symbol is as it looks like a 3 and a 4 had a baby, you know? Like, you create a sort of language through the game. And I think it's really interesting, but it also means the game gets easier the more you communicate with each other, you know? But I think it's cool to play games like that, like charades, where the better you understand how to communicate with someone, the easier it'll be, you know? If you give... Like, our mom, it tends to give very esoteric descriptions of things.
Of course.
Because our mom's very passive-aggressive, and she'll like... She tries to... like, hint things at people instead of just saying it, you know?
Yes.
She's the type of person who will
I don't want this. I didn't mean to aggro all of them.
I was thinking about this yesterday. That, yeah, you had to kill them all.
Yes. I know, this is one of my favorite parts. I just got too many at once.
I was thinking yesterday about when we were at Wendy's the other day. No, McDonald's the other day. You put your car in park, right, while we were at the window. And then you tried to start up, and your car was still in park. And I said, you're not in drive.
Yes.
Right? And then I was thinking about, like, what is the quickest way to communicate to someone that they're not in drive and have them still understand it. Right? So...
I feel like if our mom were to do that,
she would
drive.
say drive. Or she'd say...
And you'd be like, what?
She'd probably say park.
Yeah.
Like, because you're in park. And she'd just say
no,
park.
She'd say drive.
Or drive.
Something like that. Something to completely disorient and confuse you.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was like...
off a balcony.
I was thinking, like, the minimum number of... Because the minimum number of words would be, like, not in drive. Or not in park, you know? Or in park, even. But, like... The fewer, when you get too few words, it's disorienting because there's no context, you know? When I say, you're not in drive, then you understand that it's, you know, it's a problem with you, it's addressing you, it's addressing the fact that you've not shifted your gears. You're already thinking about the gear shaft because you're, you know, driving. But, like, if you just say drive or just say park, we don't understand the subject. We don't understand the context. You could be yelling that for no reason.
In reality,
you know?
Just stepping on the gas and realizing it wasn't moving, I instinctively realized I was still in park anyways. You didn't have to say shit.
Oh, you kind of sat there for like a minute. Like, you really seemed like you had taken your foot on the gas and started turning the wheel, and I was just like, dude.
Which, no, because you immediately said, that I was in park. And I was like, I know. I have problem-solving skills.
In any case, if the idea needed to be communicated... Yes. Then I did so in an amount of words that let you know the problem and the solution, you know, and not like, whereas our mom, who's passive-aggressive, would have just said drive or park or something, and she does that all the time, and I just say, green. What are you trying to say?
She always says green.
Right, at lights. I mean, that's a little more understandable, but like...
Still obnoxious.
She says things sometimes that I literally don't know what she's trying to say.
I think they nerfed this part of the game.
They did, I believe.
So I remember it being like much harder on the GameCube. I mean, I was young.
Right.
Ow, fuck you. Dude.
I remember playing through this and thinking the same thing. But
he just died so fast.
Yeah, it was just something I was thinking about, and it makes a game like charades interesting, where you really have to think about, like, how can I communicate this idea as simplistically as possible so that they can guess it in a short amount of time, and, you know, like, how do I boil down the most apparent features of something, the tangible details of something to be, you know, understood. Like how with Hitler, it's the mustache. If you want to communicate Hitler, you just put two fingers on your thing like a mustache and then do like a hand over your hair like it's the hair flip, and boom, you got Hitler, you know. Sort of like when people draw minimalist art where they, you know, like try to draw the Batman just using a logo or something. Anyway, so I like charades. I'm also very big fan of SingStar.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, SingStar
Yeah.
It
Any
really,
kind of karaoke is always fun.
well,
if people are into it.
It depends on A, your crowd, and B, like, it's cool if it's a game like SingStar where, like, the song choices are there, so you don't have to, like, think about what kind of song do I want. You just you look at a screen. There's so many songs. You go, oh man, I know that song, and I know that song. You know, the lyrics are on screen. It's easy to follow. Because we've tried to do like home karaoke where we just hook up a microphone to a speaker and have everybody choose the song.
It's not objective, and it's not competitive.
Yeah,
SingStar is fun. In a competitive sense.
With SingStar, you kind of like have the game on, and then you notice a song, and it inspires you to want to sing it. Whereas when you have like all the choices in the world, then it's a little more complicated. Obviously, I would love it if SingStar
and it's songs
had
that
more
everyone knows.
of
you know?
Yeah, I'm always impressed by the number of songs I actually know in SingStar.
Yeah.
Because it's all that like mid 2000s shit I knew in high school that is
new nostalgia core.
Like a lot of music that I wouldn't listen to, but that I know the words to and is fun to sing.
Yes.
You know, like My Chemical Romance songs. I've never listened to My Chemical Romance like of my own accord.
Yes.
But because I knew those songs in high school and they played on the radio all the time, I never forget lyrics to anything. And Helena is the most fun song to sing ever. There's never been a song that could top Helena for funness of singing. You know,
pretty much a blast.
We'll sing all that shit. Me and you always do Bodies by Drowning Pool.
Yes.
Song I haven't listened to of my own accord in like 10 years, but we cover it all the time, you know. So yeah, SingStar is very cool. Charades is cool. I guess those would be my picks for Ultimate Party games.
Yeah.
That guy also asked, what is your opinion on Mirror's Edge, and have you played it?
This is a cool game.
He's probably played that like 7 years ago,
yeah.
Right? It's been a long time.
One of those things where it was like it was really the most fun in the beginning when you're pretty much just jumping around, but then it was just kind of a concept that it didn't feel like they really
pretty much
went long enough and went like
said.
They didn't go deep enough with what they were doing. It was just kind of a very simple game. And it's like they could have
it was a great concept with a poor execution.
It was really like the demo for the game was as good as the game. Like you could have just played the demo.
I think Mirror's Edge is one of those things where like
that was one where we were playing like the demo long before we ever played the game.
I think Mirror's Edge would have benefited from being born into like the current market, where like it wouldn't have had to have been a big, huge budget AAA game that when no one really critically loves it because like the game, you know, obviously had those issues we just described, and it had a lot of that because it tried to put a shooter game into it that was not fun, you know. If they had like really been focused on the main mechanics and hadn't been trying to make the game appeal to everybody, then it would have been more
there were some of those
tight and
like fucking platforming bits where it's just like you had to do something really specific that's just like, how the fuck was I supposed to know to do that? Or like you had to jump on this fucking train at one part, and it's just so fucking hard to jump off of a rail onto this fucking train. It is just took a million tries, and it's the kind of thing that just feels like the game is fucking you.
Right, and I think it's like a concept that deserved. I mean, it's getting a sequel now, but like it deserved to have a sequel to flesh it out, and it didn't get that. And this is not where you need to go.
I know.
It didn't get that at the time because of the fact that, like, you know, because it wasn't a perfect game, it didn't get the critical reception that it required in order for it to get that sequel that would perfect it, you know. So I don't know. If Mirror's Edge 2 actually does perfect the formula, then maybe it'll be a great game. But
woo!
It's hard to say, not having it out yet.
Yeah.
Reverse Spectrum asks, do you listen to music from other countries, such as J-pop, J-rock, and Gilgamesh?
Nah.
I think it's... I don't know if he was asking this, like, ironically, because we were literally talking about Ling Toss My Segure.
And he said J-pop, J-rock, and Gilgamesh, so it's obviously a reference to the Sakura-con video.
Right, but we listen to plenty of foreign music.
Yeah.
Not just from Japan.
Ling tossed from time to time.
Yeah, well, I'd say Japanese bands that we listen to are Ling Toshite Segure, Shinsei Kamate-chan.
I'm into whatever that band is called that did the Himitsu EP, but I don't remember. I don't know what they're actually called.
The band that did the Himitsu EP, which is a pretty good EP.
Yes. Where am I going now?
Kyari Pamu Pamu.
Yeah, Kyari kicks ass. I'm really into let me look at my phone real quick and remember the names of these bands.
I like Omokage Lucky Hole. They're not called that anymore.
Shinsei Kamate-chan, right?
Yeah.
Songs. Oh, I'm into Toe. They're Japanese, right?
Oh yeah, Toe. T-O-E.
Boris.
Yeah, Boris is a big one.
Japanesey.
Well, I'm not just thinking of Japanese.
Gesu Otome. That's what I wanted to say.
Gesu
cool.
Otome. Yeah. They're the Himitsu EP band?
No, but that's a different band. That's
okay.
Cool. Hope bands. Hope Core.
Hope Core. Gallhammer's okay. I don't really listen. I haven't listened to them in a long time, and I was never that into them. But they are a Japanese band.
You're trying to lean toss my Sugar Ray.
Psy.
Yeah, Psy.
Acid Mother's Temple.
Galnerius back in the
Galnerius.
day. Okay, where am I going in this fucking game right now? I still listen to
plenty of Galnerius.
Do I got to talk to my boat?
Get the speed sail.
Oh, is that what you want me to do?
That's what we want to do. That's what our fans want us to do.
Oh, Forsaken Fortress. Okay.
Let's get the speed sail.
Let's get the speed sail. I didn't know you could get it so early yet.
Yeah, I didn't know that my first time.
We're going the opposite direction of where we want to go.
Yeah, we want to go to Windfall Island.
All right.
So yeah, I guess we listen to plenty of Japanese bands. I don't know if we're missing any, but I also listen to bands from all over the world. Let me think of what my favorite bands are.
Boyd just sent us a text asking what we're doing.
Tell him we're doing Digi Bros.
Respond to Boyd. It's that tiny one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell Boyd we're doing Digi Bros.
Hold on, let me get sailing, and then I'll have plenty of time to text or ignore whatever.
Oh yeah, you can just fucking autopilot yourself.
Set sail.
I know Delgados are from Scotland. I'm just trying to think of where all my favorite bands come from. Obviously, fucking We Were Promised Jetpacks is obviously from, what is it, Scotland or Ireland? Is that an Irish accent?
I think they're Irish.
The Baldy,
You're all,
block,
obviously, and then you'll learn.
I meant to say obviously not from the U.S., but
yeah.
it's like because they sing with the heaviest accent. Right foot followed by your left foot. Get you home before your curfew, and into your bed.
Yeah.
But I think
we used to listen to Siffram.
Yeah.
And Amon Amara.
Plenty of Swedish, and Opeth is Swedish.
Opeth, yeah.
But most of those bands sing in English.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting reason. There's this great interview. You've probably heard me say this before, but there's this great interview with the band Gojira, who are from France. They're a death metal band. And I was reading an interview for them. They were like, "Why do you sing in English? When you're a French band?" And they were like, "Well, most of the music that's like from France and that's like in French is more traditional and like poppy and stuff, and you don't really get a lot of the extreme music." And they were like, Metallica sings in English, so why wouldn't we sing in English? And it was like, oh well, there you go. Like, people from around the world are influenced by English speaking music, and that's why they sing in English in a lot of other countries. I don't know that there's a lot of bands outside Japan that I listen to that sing in other languages. There's plenty of Spanish in the Mars Volta, but they're not from Mexico or Spain or anywhere. I mean, they both are of Mexican descent, but they are from, the band is from Texas.
Good old Texas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't think of any others. Well, next time on Digi Bros, we'll talk about more top. Yeah, man.
Wow.
That was me padding for time too,
Wow.
like to get it out there. Yeah.